Okay, so let's come to our mats and start in a comfortable seated position. And we're gonna start pretty easy here, loosen up the spine and the neck. So let's start with just some seated cat-cows. So inhale, lift your head, arch your back, look up, and exhale, round your back and look towards your belly. And let's just do this a few more times, working with your own breath. Inhale, looking up, and exhale, rounding, looking towards your stomach. Inhale, exhale. All right, let's continue by warming up the arms. So, with your fingertips on top of your shoulders and your delts, just start by making big circles with your elbows forward, and then let's switch the direction. And then we're going to come into eagle arms. So, inhale your arms apart, lift your chest, and cross your elbows one on top of the other. Let's do left elbow on top of right. Give yourself a big hug, and then bring your palms together. And from here, this should be a nice opening in your upper back. Lift your elbows to be parallel to the floor. And we can add on some neck stretches here. So look to your right and gently look to your left. And we'll do nodding our head up and down. Just slowly giving some movement into our neck. And now let's inhale our arms apart again and switch the direction. So this time we'll put right on top of left. Give yourself a hug and put your palms together. Inhale to lift your elbows. And again, we'll keep loosening up the neck. So look to your left. Remember to breathe deeply here. Look to your right. And on your next exhale, release your arms next to your side. So from here, we're going to go into some side stretches. So inhale, both your arms up, look up towards the ceiling, and lean to your right. Making sure you're keeping both sit bones grounded. Reaching your left fingertips towards the top of your mat and looking up towards the ceiling to feel a nice side stretch in your left body. On your next exhale, let's come through center and we'll go to the other side. Again, keeping both sit bones grounded. And this time, lengthening your right fingertips towards the top of your mat and feeling a nice stretch on the other side. Try to make your breath nice and deep, nice long inhales and long exhales to really get the benefit of these poses. All right, and coming back to center, we're going to continue by coming to all fours. So with your shoulders on top of your wrists and your hips on top of your knees, we're going to start by just rolling out our chest. You can make these circles as big or as small as you'd like to. Just do what feels good on your body. Bring some movement into your spine and your hips. You can bend your elbows. And once you've done that a few times to the right, make sure you switch to the left and get both sides. And once you've done a few of those nice big rolls to either side, we're gonna do some more dynamic movement starting in a child's pose. So press your hips back towards your heels. And on your inhale, come into a cobra position with your legs grounded on the floor, pressing into your hands, and look up for a gentle arch of your back. And then on an exhale, press back into a child's pose again. And we'll do this a few times again, moving with your own breath. Inhale to arch your back and look up. And exhale to round into a child's pose. Again, this is a feel good flow, so whatever makes this movement feel nice and good on your body, you can do that. All right, on your next inhale, let's come back to center in an all fours position. And we're gonna move into a thread the needle pose to continue opening up our shoulders. So let's inhale the right arm up towards the sky and exhale, thread your right arm through, placing your right shoulder, cheek, and into the ground while keeping your hips stacked on top of your knees. Play around with this pose a little bit. You might need to adjust slightly to find that position for your body that helps you open up and feel this nice in the shoulders. And then once you find that position, come into some stillness and bring your awareness back towards your breath. Variation here to walk your left hand forward. And on your next exhale, press into your left hand, come back into your all fours. And we'll do that on the other side. So inhale, bring your left arm up towards the sky. And exhale, thread your arm through, bringing your left shoulder, ear, and cheek down towards the mat. Again, play around here, see what position feels the best for you. And once you find that, come into some stillness and come back to your breath. I like to walk my right arm forward. Makes me feel a little bit more stable. And on your next exhale, again, press into your right hand, come back into all fours. And from here, we're going to go into a deeper upper back and heart opener. And this is going to be your puppy pose. So walk your hands forward, keeping your hips still above your knees, and then melt your heart down towards the ground, grounding your elbows on the floor and your forehead if that's available. And if you'd like to take this a bit deeper, you can bring your chin towards the mat and look forward. Optional variation for your arms here to get deeper into the triceps. You can bend your elbows and put your hands in a prayer position. And with every exhale, think about melting your heart closer to the mat and letting go of any tension you may be holding in your upper back. And then on your next exhale, let's come forward into a Sphinx pose, putting your belly button on the floor. And from here, we're going to move into a lying chest opener. So give yourself a little room on either side of your mat. And we're going to start with our left arm at a 90-degree angle towards the side of our mat. And you can rest your head and your ear, similar to how we did in Thread the Needle, just rest it on the ground. And from here, with your right palm grounded, press into your right side and open up so that your left shoulder and hip are still grounded, but you're feeling a nice opening in your pec across the front of your body. Now, there's a few different variations with the legs here. You can keep them bent just at, on the floor at a 90-degree and just use your hand to press and open the pecs. Or you can have both of your legs straight out for a bit of a deeper stretch. Or if you prefer, you can bend your top knee and ground your toes or your whole foot behind you for a more intense stretch. And if this variation is arm, you can also try straightening your arm. So instead of having it at a 90-degree, having it straight, sort of like a T. And I find that that helps a little bit to take the pressure off, but you also need a little bit more room. So I'm going to keep my arm at a 90-degree. Okay, let's come back to center and come back to that Sphinx pose just to reset briefly. And we'll go over to the other side. So again, at 90 degrees, your elbow bent perpendicular to your shoulder. And then place your right cheek and ear on the ground, press into your left hand and open up your body. And here your right shoulder and hip will be grounded. And you'll probably feel this in your right pec. It's a nice opener to really get into those muscles that we are often neglecting when we're hunched over at our desks. On your next exhale, start to bring your body back to center. And from here, we're just going to press into a child's pose as a quick transition. You can do either a closed kneed or wide kneed child's pose here. And you can choose to either have your arms in front of you or have them next to your sides, which is, well, a little bit more relaxing on your shoulders. So from this position with your arms next to your sides, I'd like you to clasp your hands behind your back with your palms together, and then extend your elbows any amount, bringing your fingers up towards the sky. And from here, we're going to gently roll towards the crown of our head. However, not putting much pressure on the top of your head, keeping most of the pressure in your knees, and just gently coming into a variation of a rabbit's pose here, with your arms stretching towards the sky. If this arm variation is too much, you can also do this by holding onto your ankles. And again, remembering to not put too much pressure in your head. All right, come back down into a child's pose. And from there, you can press into a seated position. From here, we're going to open up the legs just a little bit by taking our right leg towards the front of our mat into a low lunge position. Lifting the chest, reaching your arms up towards the sky, feeling that nice stretch in your psoas along the left side of your body. And from here, take your hands into a prayer position and twist your belly button towards your right, bringing your left elbow on top of your right knee. From here, let's untwist back to center and press back into a half split. With your fingertips grounded on the mat, lengthen your right leg and bring your right hip back to be square with your left. And from here, you can stay in the upright position, working on gently opening that hamstring, flexing your foot to feel your calf as well opening. And from here, we're going to come back to a seated position and then switch to the other leg. So with your left leg forward, we'll come into a low lunge on the other side. Again, inhaling your arms up towards the ceiling, feeling a nice opening in the right side and the right psoas. Exhaling your hands into prayer and twisting towards your left with your right elbow on top of your left knee. If you hear any cracks in the body, that's completely normal. I am super cracky and creaky after not doing yoga for quite some weeks. And let's come back to center. And again, we'll push back into that half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, straighten your left leg, pull your toes towards your face, flexing your foot. And with a straight spine, bring your abdomen towards your front leg any amount. And again, you might be very tight like I am today, and you might just be staying in the half position, and that is completely okay today. From here, let's transition back into all fours. And we're going to set up for a downward dog. So spread your fingers, root into the palms of your hands, and lift your hips up and back, pressing into the soles of your feet and allowing your heels to relax down towards the mat. Walk out your dog if that feels good. Pedal out each foot. Bring whatever movement into this pose feels nice for your body. And from here, I'd like you to take your left hand and reach towards your right ankle into a sort of twisted downward facing dog. And look through your right armpit. And we'll do that on the other side. So grounding both hands and then taking your right hand towards your left ankle and looking up through your left armpit. And when you're ready, come back to center and meet me in downward dog. And from here, come down to your knees, and we're going to transition onto our backs. And at this point, if you do have a couple of blocks with you at home, grab those. If not, that's okay. So on our backs, we are going to start with a reclined figure four position. So bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the mat, and then bring your right ankle towards your left thigh. Interlace your fingers behind your left knee and gently pull your left leg towards your chest. Flex your right foot, and you can also use your right elbow to gently press into your right thigh, keeping your knee open, and that might give you a little bit more of an opening in the inner thighs as well. This is also called a reclined IT band stretch. So it's great for opening up the sides of our legs as well. And from here, keeping your legs in the same position, but just releasing your hands, let your legs gently fall towards the left side of your mat into a gentle twist. And from here, you can bring your arms into cactus arms and look towards your right for a gentle reclined spinal twist. On your next inhale, bring your legs back to center, and we'll go ahead and switch the legs. So bring your left ankle on top of your right knee and interlace your fingers behind your right leg, bringing your thigh gently towards your chest and optionally pressing your left thigh away from your chest with your left elbow. Flexing your foot here to protect your knee. And once you've gotten into the position, try to relax all the other muscles that are not holding you in this pose. And that goes for all poses in yoga, the balance between relaxation and action, holding ourselves in a certain posture. So you can relax your right foot towards the ground. You don't need to keep it up here at 90 degrees. You can let that go. You can release your shoulders towards the mat. Release any tension in your jaw. And on your next exhale, release your hands and bring your legs towards your right. And we'll do a spinal twist on the other side. Bring your arms into cactus arms and look towards your left. And from here, on your next inhale, bring your legs back towards center and just bring both of your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug. Gently rock side to side if that feels good, or just stay in stillness. And from here, I have a couple of options for you for Shavasana. So if you do have your blocks at home, you can come into a supported fish pose. And to do that, you'll want one block on the highest setting to support your head, and a second block on medium setting to support your upper back. And what you want to do is have this block that's supporting your back right beneath your shoulder blades. You might have to adjust a little bit, but ideally your shoulder blades should be completely able to relax and drop down towards the mat while your back is supported and your head is supported. Now, if you don't have blocks at home, that's completely fine. You can just come into a nice relaxing Shavasana. And from here, we'll just take a moment to absorb the benefits of our practice today. Let go of any tension that you might be holding on to still in your body. Let your feet relax out to either side. Gently turn your palms up towards the ceiling. If you're in a Shavasana, bring your shoulders down away from your ears. And just let go. If it's hard for you to stay in stillness and your mind tends to race or wander, you can try to count your breath, giving each inhale a count, and trying to relax a little bit deeper on each exhale. Relax any tension that you may be holding onto in your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Start to gently bring some awareness back to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to roll out your ankles and your wrists. If you are in a supported fish pose, gently roll over to one side to come off of your blocks and meet me in a seated position in the center of your mat. To close off our practice, I'd like to do one deep breath together. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Deep breath in and exhale. Bring your hands towards your heart. And bow your head down towards your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.